Are we all part of a vast cosmic mind? Is there some grander structure that most people don't recognize as being a structure, but more as isolated sections? Are the various gods and goddesses, various spirits and beings that we revere, that we worship, that we look up to, are these just, or perhaps at most, great cosmic thoughts that we are recognizing? Now, all of these cosmic thoughts, whether they be gods, spirits, or us as individuals being smaller thoughts, are these thoughts self-aware? And they're just carrying themselves out, working themselves out, resolving themselves on a cosmic scale? Is it all just a mind field or a psychic field in which various things are arising, thinking themselves out, and then shrinking again, just like a wave might come out of the ocean and then fall back into it? I think so, from a certain point of view. I think that humanity, the gods, not just humanity, all the various worlds that are in this universe and in other universes with intelligent life and life in general, I think that we all share a psychic field, that we're all part of a grander subconscious and conscious mind that exists as a united whole. Maya, illusion, delusion, this term we've heard in Buddhism and Hinduism originally. This deluding force makes us think that this world, this reality is real, when in actuality, it doesn't quite make sense when you try to understand it on a basic level. Like, how can things be separate when they rely on each other to exist? How can various beings imagine themselves as individuals if individuality relies upon other individuals existing? How can good exist without evil, or evil without good, without comparison? How can something be relative? And I don't think it can, because everything's relative. So everything that exists, our measure of it requires its opposite. It is reliant upon its opposite. So nothing can exist without everything else existing, because our evaluation, our experience, our perspective in it, of it, and despite it, requires homogeneous existence of all the things that exist. There's many things that we delude ourselves into thinking. There's many things that don't seem to be true. There's many lies of existence. But those lies can't exist without truths. So the lies are just as fundamental to the fabric of reality as the truths. So everything exists somewhere. Everything that we can imagine, everything that we think we imagine, exists somewhere in some way. Because it cannot be imagined if it does not exist. And in all the vastness of this multiplicity of beings, of states of existence, and phases of reality, they all rely upon this fabric that is the cosmic mind. And the cosmic mind is the canvas. It is the place in which all things can exist. It is an infinite scope of expansion. As thoughts work themselves out, they expand. But the mind itself that is thinking all of these various thoughts, it has to have the threshold just beyond where all the thoughts are resolving themselves, are thinking, are becoming. The threshold, the space around these planets, around these suns, around these stars, around these black holes, it must exist at least just beyond the threshold of where everything is. So space expands as these thoughts expand. But there must be that threshold. There must be a space in which all these things can exist. So the cosmic mind makes sense. The cosmic mind is the canvas in which all things flourish and recede, rise and fall, find their definition in relativity between one thing and another. Tamaguna, entropy, darkness, lack of progress, stasis, that's required. Rajaguna, restlessness, desire, vibration, expression, energy, that is required. Sattva, purity, ideal, highest, ever expansive, not confined. Sattva guna is required. And in the interrelation between these three gunas, vast amounts of expressions in the cosmic mind, incarnations of personifications in the cosmic mind exist. Gods and goddesses exist. Individual beings exist. But they could not without every other force and every other being. An evil demon couldn't be evil or demonic, nor exist without the angelic, the pure, the light, and everything in between, all beings in between, require that backdrop of darkness and light. And the beings, the thoughts that give all of this flourishing personification. The cosmic mind exists, but we don't have to understand it as such. We could just understand it as different gods and goddesses, various good beings, bad beings. We could understand it as a united whole, a symbiosis of nature itself. And the subtle energetic beings that uplift nature or are just behind nature. We can understand it in a variety of ways. How we understand it is our individuality. Because our individuality doesn't exist as an expressive, personal freedom of choice without that interpretation, because things don't exist without interpretation. Things don't exist at all, ultimately. So it is the interpretation and the expression that allows the individual to exist as it is. I hope this makes sense. The cosmic mind is something that's very Platonic, very Platonic philosophically, but also goes back to the Kybalion and Hermes Trismegistus. And the Kybalion being the book that was written by the three initiates, very much tied into Platonism at the same time. and how the ancient Greeks and Egyptians understood things as existing, as relying upon one another, as above, so below. But so as within, so without. Every way that the cosmic mind operates on a grander scale, if we analyze that, if we can try to understand that, we can understand how to make changes within ourselves. How does the cosmic mind operate? How does the grander psychosphere operate? In what way does it relate to itself? If we analyze these things, we can figure out how to work within ourselves, become more, and progress, rather than just be the product of an endless set of impressions and the result of actions, karma, cause and effect. The only free actions that we have that aren't based on impressions is how we view things and how we express ourselves spiritually. Because spirituality is ascension, is the purpose of the cosmic mind. It is raising itself as individuals raise themselves. That is the purpose of the cosmic mind, to think grander and grander thoughts, to expand and expand. And it is our individuality to both worship what we seek to worship, so that we may gain, so that we may achieve, so that we may ascend, and to uphold the connection between our own peace and every other peace that exists within the cosmic mind. So, compassion, connection, maintenance, synchronicity, and spiritual practice. These are the two purposes of an individual, and the only way we can express our individuality within the cosmic mind. A strange thought for sure, but I don't think it's an incorrect one. At any rate, thank you very much for watching. If you like this video at all, hit that thumbs up down there. Like this video, it really helps out the channel. Feel free to leave a comment. I read all comments and try to respond to all comments. Feel free to share this video wherever you like. At any rate, thank you very much for watching. I hope this was interesting about the cosmic mind. And most importantly, I hope all of you have a wonderful day.